Abusan from Akwaba, at the bad Dan Kwaku Yeboa TV. So, say, and the daddy kind. We'll share na. We making sure, say, we subscribe to our YouTube channel. And say, we don't hear subscribe and so ha. Never can't say coupon show. Yet was to say the be our supported dream. No, I'm a Dan Kwaku Yeboa TV. Abedunia Edri. No one say, and started chartered bank and on the Liverpool legend, Alfred John Barnes, about my Ghanaian Hana. Omo Liverpool soccer clinic Sabrina omotete Maya na ye chiro mo how to handle the ball, how to do other sporting activities no and omodin be do mam gene mo. Dey konkɔhwɛ time oba be drew ye e wo screen so ye buy be san to aso. Enti obedru ye no na Sabri oko when him say omoye no presec school park and so astrotef no so doctor and so for risapon ni astrotef no ho na presec alumni omo headquarters so ho na Sabri na okwa share inside na what dress up na one nkwala no ababedi agro yen kan bibisa what I see enti na Sabri na nkwala no Sabri na omo tintino mapum aerobics kakra na omo leader no edi omo FM edo na amese enka no kre na FAye yankopon hira started chartered bank for my bibi say their staff any more clients any more customers emma ewo ho kama na obaye no anche no ne nkwala no started omo interact there was a time na we free I share that had ye kama I share the boot on nkwala no the edin komo yen konkoti asema na o ka kire nkwala no ye buy be san to aso.
Hey, I like the fact that we are looking red.
And the block your short.
I like to be on the guys coming. Because I'm looking red top. Red top. Wherever red you are. You're looking outside.
Enti obedru no o chechi ankwala no wie no sa na be de yenkop field ne so ho ena na ankwala no aerobics na oni omuka kodi enkomo ho na obae no adi odinka ye pan say o apologize ye because nsenka show no program that started around by 12 o'clock but obedru na bo be 2 thereabouts na bibi ena man Sabri tama edition no ma medru na oni ye kasa na opatre say the flight or the ban a delay and now we should be a flight in the con wine just what tenewemu sa enende oba nyamiado obedu amamugama obedu no sne nya Japan so the Ghana there e ni fie ba kope na Sabri oba bedru enti onen kwala no bedi nkomo na all my reasons enti ama Sabri went to me ama medru as scheduled na oye late na the flight na a delay here enti oni e kasa ye editudwa epa Ghana for ina acho epa nkwala na acho so mo matwen aden ache na ka hunu se na nsuo no so e to kakra ho nti ama nkwala no bi no ko share tent na say but hey omo ina sanso ba park no so eba astrotef no so kama ene no de ebedi nkomo kama nti de nkonkotie ne a ekoso ere ewo.
So all the Ghanaians are going to shape, and then LLM is going to shape. So what I'll do is, so we have two coaches from the Liverpool Soccer Academy. We have Danny McDonald as well as Paul Ren, and then we're coming shortly. But before they get here, let me introduce you the one you've been waiting for. So all of you have been waiting for the legend in your band, right? And he's here now. So I'll hand over to him. He will share a few words and then we can get started.
Thank you very much. First of all, I have to apologize for being late. But as you know, the flight from England, and you children know about geography. You know geography? Yes? Yes. Okay. So the flight from England, now you know where England is. We're going to go to Amsterdam, and then to Accra, Ghana. England, Amsterdam, Ghana. We missed the flight was delayed, so when we got to Amsterdam, yeah, we missed the flight to Accra. So you know what they said to us? They want us to go from Amsterdam to Morocco. You know Morocco? That's okay, but that's North Africa, so we're coming in the right direction. From Morocco, it would be easy to go from Morocco to Accra, but they didn't want us to do that. They want us to go to Morocco, to Azerbaijan. You know where Azerbaijan is? You know Iran, Turkey? That's a long way away to Accra. We would never have gone here. So we went to Dubai and now we're here. But we're a bit late, so I know you've been here, but of course, we all love football, don't we? We all love football. What football do we like in England? Do we like Chelsea? No. Who likes Chelsea?
Liverpool.
Hang on, I'm getting to Liverpool in a second, don't worry. Do we like Arsenal?
Yes.
Who likes Arsenal? Do we like Manchester United? Let me hear you, Manchester United. Let me hear you. Okay. Do we like Liverpool? I know you're sensible. So the coaches will be coming out to the coaches, and we're going to put you through some sessions, like they do in Liverpool. Of course, we don't have a good number of players Ghanaian. They were like 74. Or you're too young to remember. They don't know 74, they're too young. You know what Lady Pele? That's all the old people say. What about the young people? Now, more importantly, I know a lot about Ghanaian football, and there are two teams I'm going to ask you who we like. Do we like Kosovo?
Yes. Phobia. The best.
What about Kotoko?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phobia. We never said that.
You never say that Obia, yeah? You transported that Obia to Jamaica, that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Because I'm from Jamaica. A lot of people in Jamaica, you know who they are, they're from the Ashanti.
Wow.
The Ashanti, that's what Jamaicans are. Now, I can't speak for the Ashanti in Ghana. I don't know how they're like. But the Ashanti, the Jamaicans who are from the Ashanti are very aggressive.
Okay.
Is that the same here?
Yes,
Yeah?
it's it.
Okay, that's it. So we're going to start in a few minutes once the ball come up to the coaching come. So thanks very much for having me and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Please organize yourself. Organize yourself.
Let's do this in groups.
What are we doing in groups?
In groups.
Are we all in?
In groups. Let's do this. I don't parents also want to do this.
Okay. We're going around, we're going to run around. We've done this picture. Run around where everybody wants. Next group. Move.
No. Let's do it at the background. It's fine.
No, let's just at the background.
You tell me where we go. In my whole career, 211. Right. Who's organizing this? Come on, let's organize it, because they're just staying here. We need some more.
So that everybody
Listen.
Can we go back a little bit? Right. Let's just go back a little bit. So we'll go back in badges. After this badge, the next badge will come. Right? Can we all come back?
Okay, I've seen you, so I'm taking a picture.
Hello. Can we please step back a little bit? Those who are doing selfie, can we come back a little bit?
Come back. Everyone will get a photo because we give everyone a photo.
That's what I'm saying. You should organize it. So, following me. Where are we going? Stay there. I'm coming back for a picture.
Yeah, he'll come back. So
Need organization.
So 6 to 10. If we are not
For now, we need 6 to 10-year-olds to go to the center circle. 6 to 10-year-olds. All 6 to 10-year-olds to the center. Everybody else outside. 6 to 10-year-olds.
later. Okay, make it follow us. No, go with them for me.
Stretch it. Stretch it.
Is this also a Liverpool? You know he won't sign something that's not Liverpool.
Can we take it? You never okay, no. Stretch. Very sentimental. Let me show you. Hold it. Look. Ready, camera ready. Halfway up.
بابا انت بتقول
Halfway up like that.
afei deɛ wie biribiara no na Sabri asese ɔne nsɛntwerɛfoɔ de eba bɛdi nkɔmmɔ de ɛwɔ hɔ no ba Sabri ehu sɛ na ɔsensan autographs ɛde ɛwɔ ha sei enti na wie ha na nkwala no ne twa picture kama enti ɛyɛ we na wie no ɛna ɔkɔɔyɛ ɛkɔtena ase ɛna ɔne nsɛntwerɛfoɔ sɛ eba bɛdi nkɔmmɔ nkonkotie press conference a ɛkɔɔ so abra ɔne interact yɛ.
Hello. Thank you very much. Well, of course, I'm here with Standard Chartered and Liverpool Football Club. I've come to Ghana many times, and from Supersport, you may know that I used to work for Supersport. But Standard Chartered have a program on today. We're only here for one day, interacting with clients, kids, and other kids from the community. You can see their girls and their boys, and everyone's here to have fun. So we're here on behalf of Liverpool Football Club through Standard Chartered.
What kind of impact are you hoping to achieve with the soccer club you're going to do?
Well, of course, what we're trying to do is impart our knowledge on young people all over the world. And of course, here in Ghana. It's not about here looking for professional footballers who are going to play for Liverpool, because you can see we have lots of girls, we've got lots of boys, we've got boys who are good footballers, boys who are average footballers, because it's about interacting with children to give them the values of Liverpool Football Club, which is unity, dignity, ambition, which is what's necessary to make you a good human being and to make you a good member of society. So of course, I've been coming to Africa for many years, and once upon a time it was about coming to look for good African footballers to take to Europe. This is not what this is. This is about imparting our values on all children, even if they don't want to be footballers, just to be decent members of society.
And how important is this program for you personally?
It's very important. I've got 7 children, so I know how important it is and none of them are footballers, I can tell you. But it's about giving children opportunities, giving children the knowledge of how to be, once again, as I said, decent members of society. So I think that for any not only members of society, but any parents who know how important it is to bring their children up in the right way, they're values that are constant throughout the world, not just in football.
Hi, Finn here from the multimedia group. First of all, we saw that you were taking the kids through some drills. Can you just tell us what kind of drills you took them through and what your impressions were about the kids that you worked with today?
Well, there were very basic drills because, of course, coming here and seeing, you can see that some of them have probably never even played football before, and some of them are very good footballers. So therefore, this is a very simple drill, which will probably be too easy for some of them, but it's about practice. And as much as you can see some of the girls particularly may have never played football before, the more they did it, the better they became. And that's a good lesson in life anyway. You know, when you're talking about, I say to my kids when you take exams, you don't pass your exams on the day you take it. You pass your exam in the preparation leading up to it, meaning the studying. To use football as an analogy, when you look at Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and we see how great they are when we see them play a match, what we don't see is what they do Monday to Friday and the work they put in. And that is what's necessary for children to develop in any aspect of their lives, be it studying, whatever you want to do in life. So the drills are very simple and basic drills, but they're good exercises to give them to know that if the more they do it, the more they concentrate, the more they practice, they will become better at it. So here, they'll become better at football, but if they study, they'll become better students. And if they work at home, whatever they have to do, they will become better children. So they were very basic drills.
And one last question. You played through the 90s, 80s of course, through the 90s as well. And you've seen how football has evolved over the years up until now. You're looking at perhaps the ones that could become footballers in the future. How do you think football has changed over the years from the time when you were probably a kid watching?
Are you talking about football in Africa or just football generally?
Football in general, really. Like, what are the ingredients for success now? Has it changed from what you needed back then or what these kids need now?
No, the ingredients for success doesn't change. Obviously, they'll probably get paid much more money now. And of course, with social media, they will be on Twitter and living their best lives, as my kids are on Instagram. But ultimately, anybody who's been successful in life, in any walk of life, hard work, discipline, dedication. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And of course, from an African perspective, I remember being in Jamaica as a young boy watching the 1974 World Cup, and we saw Zaire. And Zaire may not have done particularly well, but as the years have gone by, I played against Cameroon in 1990. We see Ghana getting to the semi-final. You look at what Ghana did in the South African World Cup. Then, of course, we see what the African teams like Morocco did. So, of course, what has happened in Africa is African football has developed. And people shouldn't be disappointed because an African team has not won the World Cup and feel that it hasn't developing. But when you see the amount of African teams now who are getting closer, don't be disappointed because it takes, England haven't won it since 1966 and we're a big footballing country. So football in Africa has developed, but I think what's happening now, which is very pleasing, particularly from Standard Chartered's point of view, from what we're doing here today, as I said, I remember years ago coming and everybody wanted you to take their children to become a professional footballer, and now it's about developing them as children. So the values necessary haven't changed whatsoever. But this is modern life, never mind football. The children have changed, but the values necessary for success haven't.
I'm sure you're familiar with Kudus Mohammed.
Yeah?
You've seen him play in the Champions League last season. There were a lot of rumors of him moving abroad and that kind of thing. I just want your opinion on transfers and at what point is significant for a player to make a transfer to another club, that kind of thing.
Well, that is nothing to do with Ghanaian players. That's to do with football generally. But I wanted to, so therefore you talk about him, and I give this advice to a lot of young players. I use myself as an example. And when I played, you had to show a level of consistency over a period of time before you were transferred. Because of course, when you're transferred, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you. And unless you're able to handle that pressure, or you're able to show that you can do this for a long period of time, not just 5 or 6 matches, I advise every player to learn their trade, to be disciplined, to be humble, to stay at their club for a long period of time to show that they can do that. But football is different now anyway, so it's changed. And we see that all the time where a footballer has one good season and he gets transferred. So I know he has the potential, but you've got Ghanaian players from a way back as Abedi Pele. I remember I played against Abedi Pele when I was at Liverpool in 1987, when Abedi Pele was on trial at Bayern Munich. Of course, remember, you're at Marseille, but he had been going around Europe at different clubs, and he had that potential. And of course, from him, you see so many Ghanaian players. So nothing has really changed, apart from players now move much sooner than they possibly are ready to move. But he definitely has the potential to play at as high a level as any of the other Ghanaian players.
Okay, so for us, Standard Chartered, we've been in this partnership with Liverpool since 2010. And what we try to do together as partners is to bring exciting experiences to Standard Chartered Bank clients and stakeholders. So today is just one of those days where we are bringing money come by experience to these young children who are children of our clients and children of our stakeholders. And like John said, they're taking them through basic drills, but I think more importantly, to instill certain values in them. And the reason why we are in partnership with Liverpool is because we also share the same values. So he talked about the values of integrity and all of that. We also have values of integrity as doing the right thing, never settling. As a footballer, you never settle, and those are some of the values that we instill in the children. And I think our clients are pretty excited today, having brought their kids here. In the evening, they would then be interacting with John later at another event.
What kind of future do you see for this event? What are your plans for the future as far as this kind of thing is concerned?
So we've been doing this for a while now, ever since the partnership started. We started in Ghana since 2012. We haven't done since COVID. The last time we had an event like this was 2020, and obviously COVID came in. So this is the first in-person post-pandemic event that we are having, and so we will continue for as long as the partnership continues.
Okay, my name is Bernard Nibru from Traffic Communications. You used to take customers along to Anfield. What happened? What changed?
We still do. So last year there was a campaign that we held, Road to Anfield. There was a winner who, I think you needed to use your debit and credit card, and so the winner went to Anfield last week. He's back, and he'll be having a press conference next week to talk about his experience. So we still do. There's another campaign we'll be launching in August, and that as well, we'll be taking 2 of our clients who win to Liverpool. So it's something that we still do.
Carrying West Coast. Is it just about a clinic to impart values, or in the future it will be projects like selecting bright ones to maybe send them to the Liverpool academies and nurture them further?
So what we are doing really today is to instill the values in them, to have the clinic, and beyond having the clinic is to instill values. And like John said, you see, irrespective of whatever profession you want to be in, there are certain values that you need. And so what we are starting is instilling the values. We don't send children outside to go play football. Our job is to instill the right values in them, and then also to provide the money come by experiences that the partnership offers.
And you mentioned the value, and John mentioned it in his earlier submission about the values of Liverpool Football Club that they're trying to instill in these children. One of those values obviously is equal treatment and that kind of thing. John being a leading voice in the fight against racism, I just wanted his opinion on what happened in Spain 2 weeks ago regarding Vinicius Junior, and how you think we can comfortably deal with this matter that's been going on for a very long time.
Well, I've said for the last 20 years, as long as racism exists in society, it exists in all walks of society, of which football is one. You can't take football aside from society, and when we get rid of it in society, it'll then disappear in all walks of society. We can't just look at it from a footballing perspective. Now, with football being media attentive and everybody loves football, they highlight the problems in football. But if you look at what's going on all over the world, that is what we really should be highlighting on. So yes, it's terrible what goes on, but does it surprise me? No, because this is what has happened ever since I played. And why should we believe that that is changed when we just have to look around the world? So if we want a solution to the problem, let's tackle it in society, and then everything else will be okay.